Matt, talk to us about Healthe, Healthe, and what exactly it is in terms of a coronavirus fighter.
Okay, great. So UV light, everyone knows about UV light. We've warned as kids to make sure that you put on your sunscreen and whatnot. And for a long time, we've known that there is a spectrum of UV light that can disinfect spaces, and it's used in hospitals and other settings, but you can't have people around. And in the last 10 years, scientists out of Columbia discovered another spectrum of UV light called 222. It doesn't reach the Earth's atmosphere, so we're not interacting with it day by day, but the wavelength is short enough that it's completely safe to be around humans, doesn't penetrate your skin, but it is deadly to pathogens, influenza, MRSA, and it turns out coronavirus. And the reason why is the virus is so small, so tiny, that 222 is powerful enough to penetrate, the membrane and deactivate the virus. And it's a really exciting technology. The applications are endless in indoor spaces, and we decided to get involved and back the technology.
Yeah, and I mean, you're using it in the Dolphins facility, which says a lot because obviously you care about the Dolphins, I assume, but also places like Magnolia Bakery and Space Needle are also using this technology. Is there a way for others to get involved?
There definitely is a way for others to get involved. The priority right now is just build awareness, answer questions, right? I mean, the number one question I get all the time is, why isn't this everywhere? And the answer is, it's fairly new. There is a suspicion around science these days, so you have to work a little harder to separate what's a fad from reality. So at the moment, we're just getting out there and explaining to people, why is it safe? How does it deactivate? And with recent guidance from WHO about the importance of transmission with aerosolized particles, that they could linger in the air for hours, I think there's an understanding now across industries that we need an indoor air solution that is continuously cleaning the air and continuously cleaning surfaces, and I strongly believe that 222 is the answer. So anyone can get involved. You just have to go to Healthe Inc. and check it out.
So what's to stop other companies from getting involved? Is this open source? Is there proprietary IP here? And, is there a moat around the companies that you're investing in?
That's a great question. Frankly, there is IP, there's patents, but my honest opinion is I hope companies get involved. I think this is a multi-trillion-dollar space that has applications around the world. I frankly don't care how many competitors get involved, and I hope more do, and I assume more will. You can't patent a spectrum of the sun. It's been around for 4.5 billion years, so this is an application of it, and Healthe, like I said, has a lot of patents, and they're the leader in the space, but I think there'll be many competitors as more and more people and companies get comfortable with adopting it.
Now, you have a great track record and, investing in many digital and technology companies, obviously with, the likes of Stephen Ross and so on. So a huge track record in being successful. Talk to us about soccer. Is it going to be successful in the US more so after the pandemic?
Oh, I love it. We're talking about soccer. So I miss soccer, by the way, in the U.S., and I can't wait till we get started. So quick background, we started an International Champions Cup about 6 years ago to bring the best international clubs to the United States. Because the reality is Americans love our sports, but we also love to watch the best, and the best happens to be in Europe. So we've been doing this for multiple years. It started as a labor of love and invested significantly, I would argue ahead of the interest entirely. But fast forward, I think the tipping point has more than been reached in the U.S. I mean, soccer's huge. We put on these matches in Michigan, right? We have 100,000 people there to watch Real Madrid. Mm-hmm. We held the Clásico Barcelona versus Real Madrid in Miami a couple of years back, and it was amazing and electric. So I'm very long soccer, not just because I'm in the space, but because I love it and I can kind of feel it. So I think there's endless upside for soccer in the US.
Matt, we don't have too long left, but I have to get some Dolphins questions in. You're obviously building up the team. Who gets the quarterback position? Is your what do they call them? Defender, Vince Beagle, is he going to be okay?
Say it again? Sorry.
So Vince Beagle was carted off with a leg injury yesterday. Is he going to be okay? And who is the quarterback when you do start the season, assuming you will?
Oh, I'm going to leave you so maddeningly frustrated, but I don't answer any of the sports-related questions. I leave that to the coach because I know better to stay in my lane, but I will say we're really excited about it. I mean, our biggest focus on the business side is keeping everybody healthy and safe so we can make sure we have a great season in light of the pandemic.
So what about fans coming back? Do you see it happening this season at all, or even next season? And should college football go ahead, Matt?
I think, look, frankly, at the end of the day, these are all driven by municipalities, and it depends on where you're in. I happen to live in New York, and New York at the moment is on the other side of the pandemic, but in Florida, it's really in the midst of it. So obviously our stadium and practice facility are Florida. So I think while we need to work nationally and have national policies, you need to take this on a municipality by municipality basis. So our job is to do everything we can to keep our players and coaches, safe, and put ourselves in a position to welcome fans back in when we can. But it's going to be driven by Florida.